introduce you.
Yep.
And then we did make this change real quick that it's Brian that's taking Chris's place. So these are here for if you want to use this, or if you want to use your own, whatever you'd like to do. Did you make any changes? It's up to you. So these are here for you. These 2 pages right here. Yeah, that's fine.
Dr. Allen,
Dan.
what do you prefer for the intro? Dan, Dr. Allen, what would you like?
Yeah. Yeah, but it's okay. Your face looks great.
So we'll go President Allen.
Yeah, I love that.
That sounds great. Thank you. Look
Okay.
forward to it in a couple minutes.
So do
Yeah,
I.
we're getting ready. All right. Mike.
Yep.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. We're going to begin in just a moment. If you could please take your seats. We're going to get started in just a moment. Go ahead and take your seats. Good afternoon, everybody. Once again, if you could please take your seats, we're going to begin in just a moment. Once again, if you could please take your seats, we're going to get started in just one moment. All right, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Many thanks to those who have joined us today on campus and who have tuned in via our live stream. My name is Brian Frankowski, and I have the great honor of serving as the Associate Athletic Director here at LaSalle University. Today's a great day here at 20th and Albany as we welcome Fran Dunphy as our new men's basketball coach. At this time, I'd like to welcome a longtime member of the LaSalle community who just completed his 30th season as team moderator of the men's basketball program. Please give a round of applause for Brother Ed Sheehy, who will be giving us today's invocation.
Thank you. No matter how we worship God, the Lord has told us that where two or three are gathered together in His name, He is there. So let us remember that we're in the holy presence of God. Lord, we give thanks that Coach Dunphy and his family have returned to LaSalle and appreciate that he is doing this for LaSalle. And as our athletic director wrote, he understands the importance of athletics and athletes on the court and in the classroom. Lord, may the words of the Acts of the Apostles ring true in this new era of LaSalle basketball. The community and believers were of one heart and one mind. Lord, in a few weeks, we celebrate the traditional feast of St. John Baptist de LaSalle, the founder of the Brothers. May the patron saint of our university and the patron saint of teachers infuse Coach Dunphy and his staff with continued enthusiasm, energy, and effort. From the beginning of the order, the rule of the Brothers emphasized two spirits, faith and zeal. May Coach Dunphy continue his belief in you and the LaSallian tradition, both in sports and spirit. We ask St. Mark, whose feast day is today, to encourage Coach Dunphy in this new undertaking. In his distinguished coaching career, Fran Dunphy has exhibited a spirit of zeal and perseverance, performance, and personal concern for his teams. He has been a consummate teacher, exemplary leader, and spirited mentor. So, Lord, we welcome home Coach and his family. St. John Baptist de LaSalle, live Jesus in our hearts.
Thank you, Brother Ed. Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce someone who is a little newer to LaSalle's campus. Dr. Dan Allen began his presidency just last week and has been welcomed by the entire campus community. At this time, I am very pleased to welcome our 30th president of LaSalle University, Dr. Daniel Allen.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Brother Ed. It's a real pleasure for me to, on behalf of LaSalle's Board of Trustees, our faculty, our staff, and our students, to welcome you. I want to, before I begin, ask for you to join me in a special welcome to LaSalle's Chair of the Board of Trustees, LaSalle alum, Bill Matthews. So, Bill, if I can ask you to stand and be recognized, please. So it was a couple months ago, Bill, that we started this journey, and you offered me, and I very humbly accepted the offer to serve LaSalle as its next president. And I accepted that offer because of this university's rich history as a place that takes seriously teaching, right? You know that St. John Baptist de LaSalle is the patron saint of teachers, and so teaching excellence is something that we're known for at LaSalle. a rigorous academic curriculum, service to community, our connection to the city of Philadelphia, our concern with our neighbors. I accepted this role at LaSalle because of that rich history. I'm also aware of the rich history that this university has in intercollegiate athletics. And we have student athletes at LaSalle performing across the board in all sports at the highest level of competition. I'm aware of that rich history. Another one of the reasons that I was so excited to accept the Bill's offer and the offer of the Board of Trustees to join LaSalle as its president. As a former college basketball player myself, not as good as these guys, I will admit that. I lacked a lot, but I did play a little bit. And as a former college basketball player, I'm also aware of the rich history and the legacy of basketball at LaSalle. Look, I remember Lionel Simmons playing. I've read the stories about and have heard all about Tom Gola. I know about the Big Five and games at the Palestra. As a player and as a college basketball fan myself, I understand that rich history here at the university. And it's for that reason that I'm so excited to be starting my presidency with Fran Dunphy as the head men's basketball coach. In everything that we do at LaSalle, sustained excellence in success is going to matter to me, in everything. Academically, what our students are involved with, not just our student athletes, but all of our students, our programs, our facilities, our work in the community, our work across the city of Philadelphia. We will have sustained excellence and we will be successful in all that we do. And I know that with Fran Dunphy as the head men's basketball coach at LaSalle University, sustained excellence and success will be a hallmark of our time together. Look, I did my homework. When Brian Baptiste and I were talking about the search and Fran's name kept coming up, right? I have enough connections in the world of intercollegiate athletics, and particularly in men's basketball, where I talked to a number of folks. And to a person, they said, Dan, you couldn't be luckier. You couldn't be more fortunate to begin your presidency at LaSalle University if Fran Dunphy was to be the next head men's basketball coach at LaSalle. And so I consider myself lucky. I consider this university to be blessed to be able to welcome Fran back to campus and to move forward our efforts to see sustained excellence and success in our men's basketball program. And so to continue, I'm pleased to ask my colleague, Brian Baptiste, Vice President for Athletics and Recreation, to come forward. Brian, please.
Thank you, Dr. Allen. Before I speak about the process of the search and how it unfolded, I want to take this moment to thank the people that were instrumental in making this possible. Bill Matthews, Dan Allen, Tim O'Shaughnessy from the University Leadership Perspective, to Greg Webster and other members of the Men's Basketball Alumni Group who played such a large role in this coming to fruition. Thank you for your commitment to LaSalle and for supporting me throughout the process. From the start, it was important for us to find the best fit possible for LaSalle University men's basketball. We wanted to find someone who believed in LaSalle, knew the A-10 well, and certainly would establish an identity for our program. Someone who shared our ambitious goals, and someone motivated to help the young men within the program develop on court and off it. Fran checked all those boxes. Part of the job of a coach is to see the potential in a young person and help them become the best version of themselves. I'm excited about his ability to do that with current and future explorers. His care for this institution is unparalleled. His dedication to developing young people is second to none. And his success as a basketball coach, well, they don't call him Mr. Big Five for nothing. The numbers speak for themselves. 580 wins, 17 NCAA tournament appearances, the most Big Five wins of any coach in history. And now, the only men's basketball coach to oversee 3 Philadelphia Big Five programs. Truly an impressive resume. Maybe even more impressive is the respect that he has within the LaSalle community, in Philadelphia and across the basketball world. He and his wife, Ree, are staples in Philadelphia. They have such a special bond. Ree, I know that you sacrifice a lot throughout the years because our families play such an impactful role in who we are today and who we can be tomorrow. Words can't express the amount of gratitude I have for you, and I want to thank you from my heart. Our life is determined not so much by what life brings to us, but the attitude we bring to life. And with that, Fran may say, we're going to make him better, but he's going to make us better too. The last thing he is just a coach or a leader, because he's known for changing and transforming lives by unleashing the vast potential for those that he has led, mentored, cared about, loved, and coached through the years. And I'm truly excited about the future because of that. I want to speak to our alums, our fans, our current students, and the campus community. We need you. We need your collective support. Having Coach Dunphy on board is exciting for our university. It's important that we get as many of you out to games as possible, in Tom Gola Arena and on the road. We want to create an electric atmosphere on game days and show the world the pride and the passion we all have for LaSalle basketball. As I reflect on my time at LaSalle, one of the truly special moments came last spring. I had the honor of announcing Coach Dunphy as the honorary degree recipient at the university's commencement at Lincoln Financial Field. It gives me great pride to once again introduce Coach Dunphy in front of another large group of explorers. I'd like to officially welcome the 20th head men's basketball coach back to 20th and only. Welcome home, Coach Fran Dunphy.
Thanks to Brother Ed. Appreciate those words, Brother Ed. Thanks, Brian, for your introduction, and this, Brian, for your introduction, and for Dan Allen to welcome all of you again, for those who may not have been here, to his first foray into this. It's important, and Dan's leadership will be extremely critical to us as we move forward. I don't have a lot to say. I just want to kind of point out a few things, and one of them is this group here as our men's basketball program, and they're the reason why I'm standing in front of you today. And the cheerleaders over here, and the cheerleaders here, and the Explorer. It's about the students. If the students aren't here and getting a great education and doing things at the university, then there's no need for me. No need for Dan and Brian and Brother Ed. We're doing something else. So this is real important to celebrate what these students do on a daily basis and what the basketball players will do as we go about our charge of being the best program we can be. And we have a great challenge in front of us. There's no question about that. And the word already came out that we need you. We need the support of alums and fans and the students
If we can get as many students to these basketball games as we possibly can, it's going to help us. But what that means is that I'm going to have to be in charge of a program that wants to make you come to these games. We have to put a good product on the court. I would love to tell you what a genius I am as a coach. The reality is I'm just a regular Joe just trying to do the best job I can. And we got to do it together. And that's not only me as a coach, but Brian and his staff and all those people that work at LaSalle. We have to do great work every single day. And I say it to these guys, or I haven't said it too much to them yet, but I will bore them like crazy at the end of practices and give them examples of how we should be. But you know, when you go to sleep at night and your head hits the pillow, you're thinking about your day and how did you do? Did you do a good job? Did you talk the right way to everybody that you came in contact with? Did you work as hard as you possibly could? Was there something else you could have done to make whoever you're working for better? Did you do a good job as a family man, as a husband and a father? Did I do a good job? Now I'm a grandfather. I can't get enough of these two little guys I can hang around with, you know. But that's important. Those are the things that you do at the end of a day. And if I didn't do such a good job today, I better do a good job tomorrow. And that means something to me. It's actually my 4th stint at LaSalle. Some was at LaSalle College, and now it's LaSalle University. But LaSalle gave me a chance as a student athlete in 1966. It's a few years back. They gave me a chance in 1979 and 80 to assistant coach that team that went to the NCAA tournament. Interestingly enough, we played Purdue at Purdue. It didn't make a whole lot of sense to me at the time. It still doesn't, and it was kind of probably the impetus to have the NCAA not have home court advantage in their games. But it was a great team, and I loved being on a team. And then I was able to come back again for Lefty Irvin's last year in 85, 86, and 2 more years with Speedy Morris, with some really good teams too. We went to the Final Four of the NIT in New York, and then we made it to the NCAA tournament the next year to play Kansas State at Notre Dame. Great guys, great team. You know, Dan mentioned Lionel Simmons. I played with a guy, Kenny Durrett, Larry Cannon, and Michael Brooks. Their banners are up in that Tom Gola Arena. That means something to me. And now I'm back again. And I'm appreciative of that opportunity. The task is daunting. The challenge is great. And so we're blessed when we get this opportunity, when challenges confront you. What do you do with those things? Do you accept them? In my case, I did. I had a chance to serve, and so the Christian brothers taught me well many years ago. If you get that opportunity, if you can serve, then do so. So that's where I am, and that's what I'm doing, and I need to do that. We're in a Big 5, we're in the Philly 6, we're in the Atlantic 10. We're inclusive of all of these teams and 350-some Division I teams out there. We need to do a good job, and I need to work as hard as I can to bring the best student athletes we can, and those people who are going to work very, very hard and appreciate their opportunities here. This is a great university. There's not a lot of self-importance in what we do. That's not how we roll. We just work hard. We bring our lunch pails and our hard hats, and we come to work every day. That's what we do. There's no sense of entitlement. We're going to work at it. How good we're going to do, I don't know that. I don't know what the landscape of college basketball is going to be if we're standing here in 5 more years. I don't know what that landscape's going to look like. The game is changing. Life is changing. We've got to change around it. We've got to adapt to it. I had a really neat thing happen to me this morning. One of my classmates and teammates at LaSalle texted me and said, you know, I can't be there today because I'm at the Invictus Games with my son, who served in Iraq, got hurt, and now is over there participating in these games. And I wrote him back, I said, I can't believe how special that is for you to be over there, to do this, and having your son serve our country, and how meaningful that is. Well, those things mean something to me. For me to come back to LaSalle means something to me. And again, my job is to do the best job I can, to talk with these guys on a daily basis. And if they're doing great, and that's terrific. And if they're not doing so great, well, how are we going to fix that? How are we going to get better? We're going to play harder, we're going to play smarter, we're going to do a better job in the classroom. Yeah, we're going to do all of that. Not sure where everything else is going to land, but it's a great challenge and one that I accept, and one that I'm appreciative of everybody at LaSalle thinking that I can do a good job. So I've got to prove myself every day. So when my head hits the pillow, when I go to sleep at night, I'm thinking about did I do a good enough job today? And what can I do tomorrow to make it right if it wasn't so good? So again, these guys are important. And there's probably going to be some additions over there. We've lost some guys, and that's the way life is. And those guys that have left us deserve that opportunity that they have taken advantage of. But we're going to get others who will come in and take their spot, and hopefully we'll do great work. And hopefully, as our coaching staff will get together and we'll plan practices and the opportunity to work with them every day, that they do a great job and they're into it, and there's a sense of urgency, and we're going to do the best job we can. So thank you all for being here, no matter what your position is, whether you work at LaSalle, whether you're LaSalle fans, whether you're a Christian Brothers, any part that you have of being of a Philadelphian or a fan or a LaSallian, thank you for being here. Thank you for welcoming me back again for the fourth time. And so I'm grateful. I'm grateful. And if we can all be that, if we can all be grateful for who we are and what we have and what life has thrown to us. And again, life throws challenges at you every single day. And every time I get up in front of an audience, I am want to say that I'm looking at the audience and I'm looking for somebody who is lucky as me. And I typically don't ever find it. I always find people that there's no way they could be as lucky as I am. And yet we could go around to every one of you, and you'd all have a story, a pretty impressive story as well, of times that you've overcome adversity and times of great happiness. And so I got to listen to that. We all have to listen to that. Everybody's got a song to sing. Let's listen to it. So again, I won't keep you long here. I know I'm supposed to now ask if there's questions and entertain those for a little bit. But I thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your presence. Well, the short-term goals are always the same. We've got to put a great product out on the court, and we're trying to win every game we can. We're going to play some really good basketball teams. Our league is terrific. It's got great players, great coaches, and so that's our goal is to win as many games as we can. And really, the goal is to have as many good possessions per game as we can. We don't want to never take off a defensive possession. Never have a wasted, empty possession on the offensive end, and just see if we can't be as perfect as we can, knowing full well that we're not going to be perfect. But I want these guys that are out there on the court to do their best and represent this institution. That's their job every day. And I always say this about what they have to go through. It's a great life to be a college athlete. Tremendous, tremendous life. It is not, however, easy. It's work. It's getting up in the morning, lifting weights, getting a good breakfast, going to school, go to study hall, get some good lunch, go back to class, get to practice, get to study hall again, get a good dinner, and let's do the best we can because we've got a Big 5 game coming up. We got an Atlantic 10 game coming up, and we want to win the game. And so that's not easy to do. There can't be a whole lot of distractions, and if there are, it's hard on you. But I want them to be the best they can be, and I want them to be the best version of themselves they can be. Thank you, Jake. I'm most excited about working with the team. And when somebody says, do you miss being out of coaching, you say, of course you do. You miss the juice. You miss the juice of competition, but mostly you miss the opportunity to form these relationships with these student athletes. And I can't tell you the number of guys that I coached at Penn or I coached at Temple, and they come back and say, now I get it. Well, when they get it, that's a terrific way of saying, thank you for the time and effort that you spent coaching us and being around us. So that's the thing you miss. And you watch them grow. You watch them become husbands and fathers, and you watch them become businessmen and have these opportunities that you're grateful for. So that's the relationships are always the thing that drives all of us. The competition and the relationships. And the competition is no small thing. It's important. We want to win. Well, I appreciate the question, Mike, and the reality is I don't think any of us know what this landscape is going to be like over the next couple of years. I mentioned that, if we're all standing here in 5 years, what's the makeup of college basketball at that point? So it's changing. It's changing every single day. The transfer portal has changed our world. The NIL is changing our world. Where it's all going to go, I don't know that anybody knows that. I hope we're going to settle in at some point, and there will be a monitoring system in place that we can at least have a sensible approach to college athletics. But we're in for an interesting ride, and the reality is I don't think any of us know, and if somebody's telling you they do know, I'm not sure they're telling you the truth, because this is a whole different world we're looking at. And we're going to have to adjust, and maybe sometimes adjust on the fly. And you're going to have to get creative and get different in your approach to running your organization and having a good team. But we're going to try to overturn every rock that we can find and get some really good kids who want to sacrifice for their teammates. And I say this ad nauseum all the time. All we are here, and we're all in this room today, we're all teammates in somehow, some way, we're teammates. Whether it's the LaSalle men's basketball team, or it's a class that I have an opportunity to teach, or it's my family or your family, or we're all just teammates, and we're all just trying to get along and do the best that we can. And in the end, when we can accomplish things, man, that teammateship there's nothing like it. It's tremendous. It's a beautiful thing. So that's all we're trying to do, is be the best teammates we can be. Where that college basketball world is going to be in a few years, I'm not sure of that. So the willingness to serve my institution, who was so good to me over the years. They gave me a chance. LaSalle's given me a couple of chances, one being as a student and as an athlete. Then they gave me a chance as an assistant basketball coach many years ago. My teammate, Lefty Irvin, gets the head coaching job, and I get an assistant coach's job. And without that, I'm not standing in front of you today. So it means something to me that LaSalle gave me this chance. And when they ask you to serve, you serve. That's the deal. All right, thanks, Brian.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you again, Coach Dunphy, and welcome home. And thank you all for attending today. For our gathered media, if you have additional questions for Coach Dunphy or Brian Baptiste, you can request additional time with them. Just be sure to find members of our communications and support staffs to make those requests. Once more, thank you all for being with us here today in person and via our live stream. And as always, go Explorers!